You will hear a number of different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. All the recordings will be played once only. The test is in 4 sections. At the end of the test, you will be given 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Now turn to Section 1. Section 1. You will hear a tourist calling a receptionist for some information. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
Greek island holidays. Can I help you?
Yes, I hope so. I have a friend who's just come back from Corfu, and she's recommended some apartments in Arillas. She thought they might be on your list.
Arillas. Let me check. Can you give me the names?
Yes. The first is Rose Garden Apartments. Could you tell me a little bit of information about the apartments? Its features and prices, for instance?
Well, at Rose Garden they have a huge parking lot, and it is free parking. So it can be very convenient for some big families who drive there to spend holidays.
Oh, that's great. Our whole family will be going.
And there's a big swimming pool inside which can accommodate over 50 people. We are thinking of replacing it into an aquarium, but it's still in discussion.
That sounds exciting. What about the cost?
$219.
That seems reasonable. I'm just jotting down some notes. Now, the second one my friend mentioned was called Blue Bay.
Blue Bay? Oh yes, in fact that's very popular and it has some special features.
Really?
The main attraction is the large man-made lake, and it's only around 1 kilometer from some shops.
Is it much more expensive than the first one?
Actually, it's $50 cheaper than the first one. That's mainly because they don't have a parking lot there. Moreover, we plan to install a lift, but we are currently short of funds, so we don't have it at the moment, and this apartment isn't really suitable for those with disabilities.
Right. Now there are just 2 more apartments on the list. The third one is Sunshade Apartments.
This one is on top of a hill with a huge parking lot. Each room used to have a nice kitchen, but we have turned it into a beautiful garden since our customers don't cook much, and they have shared barbecue facilities.
Sounds great.
Yes, it is well equipped.
How much does it cost?
$490.
I don't think that would be within our budget, unfortunately. And the last one sounds a bit expensive too. The Grand Apartments.
That one is quite reasonable. There's no parking lot, but parking on the street requires no charge. Many teenagers and businessmen have come here to spend their summer holiday, but children make the biggest part of our customers. There is a huge painting room for them.
Sounds lovely. Okay, I will think about which one to book with my family.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
That's fine. We've got plenty of apartments here when you come. Is there anything else you need to know about accommodation?
Oh, actually, could you tell me some more details about Arillas in general?
Sure. What would you like to know?
Well, my friend told me that Arillas was pretty, but I don't know what the best way is to see the town.
Well, if you want to enjoy the scenery, then the Blue City bus is recommended. Just a second while I check. That one is a business route, mainly for commuters. The green one is a double-decker which offers a nicer view.
I also heard that the ferry boat trip is quite popular.
Yes, if you want to immerse yourself in the magnificent sea views, then the ferry boat trip is a must. The trip used to last 35 minutes, but we made it a little bit longer to 50 minutes in response to our customers' demands. A 30-minute seafood dinner is included in this trip.
Okay, and one more question. I like riding bikes. Can I rent a bike and cycle around the town?
Of course. There is a mall on Main Street and Arillas Bike Hire is located behind it.
Okay, I have made a note of that.
Furthermore, I'd like to suggest 3 famous museums, from which you can learn native history and culture.
That sounds fun.
Okay, the first one has an exhibition of the interior design as well as some famous paintings and sculptures. Some of the paintings are donated by some well-known scientists.
That's great.
Yeah, the second one is about something that is familiar to us, but actually most people don't know much about it, which is fizzy drinks or soda. The visitors will be shown the history of some famous products in this industry and how they are produced. It's interesting to know that some products have been taken to the space before.
Wow, I would like to go there.
Yes, you should. And the last one is about some special phenomena outside the planet where we live. Some experts are there to unveil the mystery if the visitors have any questions. Various machines and equipment are displayed inside. You can't miss it. Are there any more questions for now?
No, that is all.
I hope you have a happy journey.
Thank you.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You will hear a man introducing a charity to a group of listeners. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16. Hello everyone, thanks for attending tonight's event. Let me start with the early history of our charity, iSaver. iSaver was founded by retired optometrist Timothy Gaines. I have spent much of my working life at iSaver. I am 60 years old now, and I started working for this organization 15 years ago, when I left a corporate position to help people with eye problems. Now our charity has been helping people for 3 decades. You may know that we are now doing various other things to help people with eye problems. That includes medications for children with eye diseases and operational help to those in the public who have eye problems. But when Mr. Gaines just founded iSaver, he wanted the program to be able to offer common eye equipment to those who needed it. We receive occasional donations from corporations and charity groups. Now we have over 1,500 volunteers who work on the street with the little red donation boxes which many of you are familiar with, and this is the main source of funding for us. Besides, we are planning to work to secure donations from wealthy benefactors. Many people are passionate about charity cause and have been inquiring how to donate money to us. I really appreciate that. But our main need is to collect glasses for our patients. Many of you have multiple pairs of old glasses in your possession, and we encourage you to gather these pairs which you no longer need and donate them to our cause. In doing this, you'll be able to make sure that someone else can see better. Most of us cannot imagine a life in which we are unable to see well. This is why your eyeglass donations are so critical to our mission, and, as a side note, we offer full-time positions. Let me know if you are interested. Our goal is to make people aware that even the smallest of donations can help change a person's life. So, your donation can be a turning point for them. The other day, when I was talking to some people on the street, they were surprised to find out how easily some eye problems can be cured. And I am proud to say that our next program will aim at educating people about common eye diseases. We are able to prevent many fatal eye problems. In order to publicize our charity program, we surely need to do some advertising. When we first started our program, we used computers to create awareness for our cause. For instance, promoting seminars in which we informed people as to how they could help us to solve eye problems. But in recent years, the main means of advertising our program is through audio recordings. We have found it cost-efficient and effective. It's good to know that many of our staff are recommending our program to their friends and colleagues, but I am afraid that our training cannot show people the whole picture of our program. Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20. Finally, I would like to tell you about some organizations which have played important roles in the development and success of iSaver. Our affiliation with the National Vision Funding Group has allowed us to gain fame and to become even more significant. So, many people around the country are coming for our services. Our association with the Eye for the Future organization has allowed us to run cooperative ads by which we seek producers of equipment to work with us. Meanwhile, some of our staff has been sent to this organization for some special training. Their skills should be improved very soon. Also, we have had a long-time cooperation with Sam's Eye Care Institution. Our relationship with it has given us the opportunity to link with many different academic institutions, including colleges and universities with good reputation. And we have a similar friendship with a group called Youth Health. Our connection with that group allows us to link directly with young kids, since this is a crucial stage in their growth. We plan to contact with some colleges and hope that with their help, more college students could get to know our program. So, as you can see, we have all bases covered in linking with students, as we have affiliations directly with both administrators and the students themselves. Thank you so much for your attention today. As we try to stamp out eye problems, we will appreciate your donations, no matter how large or how small. We believe, with our efforts, the world will be a brighter and more beautiful. That's the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to Section 3. Section 3. You will hear two students named Peter and Lynn discussing Professor John Smith's article about online course. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
Lynn, I just finished reading Professor Smith's article about the benefit of online courses. What are your thoughts on the article?
Hi, Peter. When I read that article, it was clear to me that Professor Smith does not favor the traditional methods of classroom teaching. Although I can certainly acknowledge that there were some advantages to online courses, I would say that internet courses are not always the best means for teaching and learning.
Well, I guess teaching and learning problems always exist no matter what method you are choosing. But generally, problems are more likely to arise when teaching is done through a traditional way. I think it's about time to revolutionize the old teaching style, though.
But I would hope that students consider the negatives of online learning before enrolling in online courses.
This shouldn't be a big issue since online courses are so common these days. At least, I won't struggle so much. And Professor Smith points out that computer learning is well suited for some courses, especially the technical courses. I think it makes sense to some extent based on my own experience.
That's good, but unfortunately that theory doesn't work for me.
What a shame. I got an A for that online computing course last year. Anyway, the next part is personal interaction. I think the mutual interaction offered by traditional teaching is overrated in the article and doesn't have much value. I think it's a distraction and that time could be better spent on the subject matter of the course.
Oh, I disagree strongly. Peter, you're dismissing the benefits of face-to-face interaction between students and teachers in traditional classroom settings. The article says that learning is a two-way street, and it's much easier for students to learn if they can ask questions and have discussions with their teachers.
I'm still not sure about that, but online courses can foster students' technical skills. In learning the subject matter online, students will gain the technical know-how they'll need in their future endeavors.
I didn't pay much attention to that, but I do agree that students can learn very limited technical skills in a typical classroom, whereas they can learn more in an online course. What do you think Professor Smith means when he says online courses should be flexible in time?
That's essential. The point of learning online is to allow those who can't attend courses at fixed time to learn. The patterns of traditional teaching are different from those of online teaching. The former features a steady curriculum schedule, and that's where online teaching shows its edge.
I can't agree more.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 27 to 30.
The second part of the article shares some thoughts about the use of internet on campus. I'm kind of lost in that part.
Well, I think what he's trying to say is that students are already accustomed to doing their research on the internet, since it can be a huge waste of time if they look for the information by reading so many books. They always count on the internet, although some people say computers could be better used for other purposes. He emphasizes that many teachers are already instructing students by using the computer as a research tool.
Thanks for clarifying that. What about the next part, saying that students are divided? Do you know what that means?
Well, it's certainly not that some students are not willing to use computers. They're already well accustomed to that.
You're right about that. Most students already use the internet as their primary source for news and information.
Professor Smith probably intends to say that computers are not easily accessible and available to all students.
Yes, not all students can afford computers.
Although many teachers encourage the use of other resources, many students prefer to use the internet, as they are most comfortable with computers and the internet. They have the internet at their fingertips, whereas other resources might take more time and energy to access.
Yes, and as Professor Smith notes, with online courses, the student support system is already in place. Instead of asking fellow students or the professor for assistance, students would be able to get any information they need online, and this assistance would be available immediately.
So, why do you think Professor Smith is recommending the use of computers as the school's main means of educating students? Do you think he's interested in reducing some of the fees associated with traditional classroom courses?
I think it's all about the money. He is promoting online courses simply because he thinks it will enable the school to make more money.
I never thought of it that way.
Many schools already have limited space for classrooms. If the school board wants to enroll more students, they can do that through distance learning mode. Instead of recruiting more teachers, the same course resources can be sold to both online and offline students. Plus, some computer companies are willing to financially support the schools that promote this type of learning.
I see. This is profitable in every sense. All right, now we'll have something to write about in the research paper.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of a lecture for biology students about animal perceptions. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
We all know human beings are equipped with 5 basic perceptions. These senses that we have are fundamental to our thinking and understanding. The animal world puts humans to shame, though. Some animals not only have senses humans also possess, but they sense the world in entirely different ways. Ever wonder how mosquitoes find you in the dark? The truth is that they can not only see you, but also smell the carbon dioxide you breathe out. That's how they find a living and breathing host, even when it's completely dark. For many animals, it is their nose that helps them survive. For example, beetle larvae possess sharp sense of smell. They can seek out odor of vine grass from quite a distance. This grass is an excellent source of food for these larvae. When you walk in a garden in spring, you can see honeybees busy collecting pollen from flowers. When they are faced with danger, they locate their enemy by using their legs and sting it accurately. They hardly ever miss. So next time when you walk in the garden, stay away from the bees if you don't want to be in trouble. Unlike the worker bees, a queen bee is the heart and soul of a honeybee colony. A good quality queen means a strong and productive hive. Apart from laying lots of eggs, the queen's primary purpose is to produce chemical scents that help control the honeybee hive. So these chemical scents can convey important messages for other bees. When there's good order in the beehive, it can grow strong and powerful. Some other insects also make good use of their chemical scents. Some use it in their mating. Some butterflies can release a scent which can attract the opposite sex. This is similar to the use of perfume by humans to increase their charisma. Of course, insects also use other tricks, such as flapping their wings or having their wings wide open. We can use technology to navigate, like the use of GPS. Insects can navigate themselves using a variety of information, and one of those sources seems to rest inside their body. For instance, bumblebees have a small ring of magnetite particles inside their stomach, which can detect the magnetic field of the Earth and help them define its location and find its way. This is quite a sophisticated technique, isn't it? A snake is a very skilled predator. There are pits on its head, which can detect heat coming from a warm-blooded prey such as a mouse, even if they are meters away. This skill allows them to hunt in the dark with enough precision and speed. Even with tiny patches covering its eyes, a snake can show the ability to kill its prey accurately. Other predators may depend on very good sight. Eagles, for example, can recognize the body shape of a mouse or a rabbit from more than 100 meters away in the sky. Owls also possess the same ability and even have a good vision in the darkness to allow them to hunt. What about man's best friend? According to the statistics, dogs have the ability to tell the differences between 220 kinds of smells. But they have more than just a nose to help them find food. Their tongue is very sensitive too, which helps them track food from over several meters away. Dolphins, whales, and bats navigate and track prey using echolocation. This is a very advanced form of hearing that allows them to see their surroundings by listening to and analyzing the way sound reflects off objects in their environment. Echolocation in these animals is the use of high-pitched pulses of sound and listening for the return of that pulse to calculate the distance of objects in their environment, so they can find their prey in the dark nights too. So, we can see that many animals possess super abilities far beyond our reach. This lecture is to bring forward the wonderful traits that make each animal special and unique. We should respect animals. They too deserve a chance to live with equal dignity, just like humans.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.